Hey, this is Allison hanging out in my space to craft, and I thought it was time to get another Christmas journal page done before I forget the stories. I have two photos printed. I do have several others, so I've got some more pages coming up. The top one is from our Christmas store that we do for our local elementary school. And it's just a setup before all the families came in to shop of our Christmas store. So the way this works is it's a little bit like Three Wishes. The sponsored families submit three needs for each child and three wishes. Our parishioners or congregation pick cards and sponsor the individual children for their needs, but we make an Amazon wish list for the wishes, and people go and buy and have stuff shipped straight to the church. I help unpack them, and I also was in charge of setting up the store this year. And then the parents come on the designated evening and get to shop at deeply discounted prices. So things are either $1, $5, or $10. So the bicycles are $10. And they get to provide Christmas for their family, but they are doing it. They're making the selections. We have personal shoppers help them make decisions. And then we have wrapping stations with volunteers to help them get everything wrapped. And, some of them are on a budget of $30 and can provide Christmas for their kids for $30. It's pretty amazing. And that money, the money that they pay, goes to the PTA, so it goes back to the school. So it's a really, really neat program, and it's a fun way to do it rather than just handing them a bag of here's all the stuff you asked for. And that way they're making some selections. All right, so I've selected, I really like this black background poinsettia paper. This is all from the Simple Stories paper kit that I've been using, and I pulled out this cut apart, but I'm going to fussy cut out those gifts so that it doesn't block all of that paper. And then that is going to be my journaling card, but I'm going to spruce it up a bit. And I think this all is going to be on the other side of the journal, because this was the 17th of December, and right now I think it's going to be on the back. So I trimmed that blue down a little bit. Pardon me. And I have this sort of shimmery red paper that I really like, so I'm going to use that as a background for it. I do make a mistake here, though. I don't double check the fit before I move on, and I should have. So, lesson learned: if you're doing pocket pages and you're hand cutting, those spaces are a little bit wider than a 3x4, and so I was trying not to cut too much off of this card, and I have to go back at the end and trim a little bit more off after I've decorated it, which is a real pain because I did not fit check it here. So learn from me when I make mistakes. Fit check your pocket pages before you move on. So I'm going to use that same red paper to put a tiny border around the photo, just so it has a little personality as well. I like both sides of this paper, and actually on the back side, the other picture I had was of a mug that my friend sent me, and I had opened it before Christmas, and it was it had a cuss word on it. Well, two cuss words actually. And it was so fun. And then it had her state and my state and it said that I something miss you, friend, but not friend. Anyway, so I decided I shouldn't really document that on video, so I did that page after this one, but that's the page in front of this. But I use the back of that green, bright green plaid. I really like it, so that gets to be the other page. So I am inking everything in black, black soot, I think it's called. And I have fussy cut out the gifts. I think that looks better, but I think it's totally appropriate to have a big pile of gifts by this store, since that's what it was all about. And now I want to decorate my journaling card. And I'm going to start with putting the number before it. Sometimes some of these pages I've forgotten to add the number until after I videotape, so I was determined today that I wanted to remember it. I'm out of ones on this card, so I sacrifice an L to be my one. It works fine. And then I start fussing around with where I want it. And I'm going back to where I started. All right, and then I'm going to do, I need a title. So I decide I'll use these letters and do Gifts Galore. I'm also going to pull out my Creative Memories Titletopia, which in the end I didn't need it. I try and lay it out so that it's a little swoopy, but then I end up having to separate the two words, and so you can't really tell. So, wasted effort, but the thought was there. Oh, and I don't think I ever put the tittle on top of the eye. I'm going to have to go back and do that. So see how cute this would have been had it fit, but it didn't fit across the card. But that's okay. So this is a very old Creative Memories tool. It's very handy, and it comes in different shapes. I have one for circles and different swoops and things like that. And I use them quite a bit. They're pretty fun. So see, it's not going to fit, and I'm not going to be able to cram it to make it fit. So I'm just going to put the gifts down there and the galore at the bottom. But see, once you put it on there, you can't really tell that was a swoop. It just looks like it's off. So that's going to get changed when I have to trim things up. I don't change it all, but I could have just done it all straight. And I want a couple more little gifts on this card. So I'm going to use this page of gifts as for some cut aparts. And just select 3 different size and different color gifts to fussy cut out. And I won't make you watch that. I will jump ahead. All right, so those are cut out and inked. And now I'm just going to make a little cluster of them and then figure out where I want it to live. And I think it's going to go at the top. Now that is sticking up above the card a little bit, but it doesn't matter. It's still, I think, will be inside the sleeve. And then I'm just looking for some wordy bits, a few things to add. So I find this one that says, making wishes come true or something like that. which is perfect. It doesn't stay there because I find another one that says, "Let the festivities begin." So I'm going to put that at the bottom of the photo because it was literally right before we started. I think we had over 60 families come through, and for over 100 kids, 120 or 130 kids. It was just amazing fun. And I decided to incorporate that with the number at the top rather than spreading everything out. Sort of connect things together. And this is where I discover I messed up. So I try trimming a tiny bit off and see if that's enough. It is not. It still won't fit. So I'm going to have to do full-on surgery. So I'm just trying to figure out where can I cut it. Still not fitting. Oh, what a mess up. I'm like, okay, where can I can move these letters a little bit. I end up having to shift all of those letters so that I can cut a little bit off that side of the card, and then I can cut a little bit more off the red card, and still make it look like it has a frame and everything. So here's where I do some shifting. These letters are a little delicate. They're pretty thin, but especially if you use this tool or you have thin nails like me, you can usually get them up and move them without tearing them or destroying them. And they do stick well. I have had one sheet that just didn't stick. And I don't know if it was because it was old or what was going on with it, but all right. And that surgery worked. So, I call my site Out of This World Scrapbooking because of my NASA connection, but it's not. It's totally the real world, and I mess up all the time. So rather than a bunch of enamel dots, I'm going to use this sheet of puffy stickers, and there were 3 little holly clusters on there. And that's what I'm going to use to finish off the decorations. So keeping this page pretty simple. And we're going to do some close-ups. So please give this video a thumbs up. I will be hopefully finishing up. I have lots more pages. As I said, this is the 17th. So I'm at least going to go through Christmas in this book. I may not go all the way through December because we took a cruise, and I've been doing that for my daughter's senior album. But that is a nice looking page. Thanks a lot, you guys, and come back for more.